We hope to be able to seat a judge this evening and get him to sign a order to show cause why the adult authority should not be held in contempt of court for violating his order, or in the alternative, for an injunction against the adult authority and a temporary restraining order against the adult authority.
Well, I hope that I will be able to remain outside of those prison walls and not be required to go into San Quentin State Prison unless I'm convicted of a felony. I don't feel that any person should be required to enter state prison until they've been convicted of a felony, and I have not, so I think that's out of order.
Does that mean you'd be willing to meet with the parole authorities elsewhere?
Listen, I meet with the parole authorities all the time. You know, I went down to see my parole officer, and he gave me this letter telling me that I had to go to state prison, which in my experience and the experience of a lot of people that I know, it's unprecedented. They just don't ask people to come to a state prison to have a hearing of that type, you know.
From the adult authorities' point of view, a lot isn't vested in that meeting. What I mean is, if they were to stage that same meeting with those same issues on the table, you'd meet with them elsewhere?
Well, I would do whatever my counsel would advise me to do.
What would you advise?
Mr. Cleaver will obey any and all commands of any lawful body. Our position is that the adult authority are themselves violating the law. A contempt proceeding is a criminal action. They themselves are violating the law. All of the issues that are now before the adult authority for their hearing were adjudicated by the judge, where he took ample testimony, where there was cross-examination. Mr. Cleaver testified under oath.
Whether you're guilty or not, they always want you to plead guilty, you know. There have been people in prison who have been denied a parole year after year after year simply because they wouldn't go up there and enter a plea of guilty, you see, so that they want you to do a certain thing and they will stop at nothing to get you to do that. And this is an indication of this because it would seem very reasonable to people just observing this that they would stop trying to get me behind bars on these very same charges. They haven't added another charge, the same charges, and they're just being persistent, and it seems stupid to me.